In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a game called Pong, which is a two-person game where you have two paddles and then there's a ball in between them. We're going to start out by putting in a background, and we're going to use rect mode center in our function setup. The reason that we do this is because later on we are going to be using distance, so we want to use rect mode center and it'll be a lot easier. We're going to make 4 variables that are going to be for our paddles. We'll make a variable for LX, LY, RX, and RY. There'll be 50, 250, 550, and 250. Then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make our paddles appear. So we have the X and Y coordinates for them. So we're going to do a rectangle at LX, LY, and we are going to do 25 wide and 100 tall. And we'll do the same thing for RX and RY. And the reason why I used L and R is for the left paddle and the right paddle. All right, so we've got both of our players up on our screen. What we're going to want to do now is make it so that our paddles move with keys. I chose to do mine with W and A and then I and K for the 2 players. I just think it's the most user-friendly when you have 2 people. So we're going to do 4 key commands here, and it's really important when you do key commands, you want to put in a little note. You want to make a comment on the code that says what it's controlling. If you do it this way, it'll be so much easier for you to fix it if you think something's wrong with it, or to go back and just see how you made a key command work. So we're going to put on our key picker, and I'm going to press down on the W, and I'm going to take that number, whatever it is, and put it into the parentheses after key is down. And that's going to allow me to make it so that W is moving up. I'm going to use A for down, which is 65. And then on the other side, I'm going to use I to go up. I'm going to use K to go down. So I is 73 and K is 75. So these won't work yet because we have to put in if key is down, then what's going to happen. So in this case, we want our paddles to move, but we don't want their X values to change. We just want their Y values to change. So I'm going to say LY equals LY minus 1 for it to go up, because as you go up, the numbers get smaller. Then for the next one, I'm going to do LY plus 1. And that's a little slow, so you can change the speed of your paddles by putting in a bigger number here. So let's see, that looks good to me. All right, and we'll do the same thing for RX and RY. And I chose to do my key commands in like kind of a weird way so that I could talk to you guys about the same thing over and over. If you want to just do one at a time, one complete if statement at a time, that's fine. It's really easy to write if key is down with the blank and then the blank in the curly brackets. If you're going to do copying and pasting, that's a really easy way to do it. All right, so now my paddles move up and down using W and A and I and K. So I'm going to make some variables for my ball. I need variable ball X. I'm going to set that one equal to 250, or 300 actually. You want it to be right in the middle of your X-axis, and mine goes from 0 to 600, so I want to use 300 because it's right in the middle there. All right, then I want to do the same thing for ball Y, and I'm going to make it at 250. All right, so I have my variable for ball X and a variable for ball Y. I need to do the same thing for X speed and Y speed. And the reason why I have X speed and Y speed is because we need them to bounce. We need it so that if the ball touches the top or the bottom, it's going to bounce. So we need to have an X speed and a Y speed. Next thing I need to do is display my ball on the canvas. So I'm going to put it at ball X, ball Y, and I'm going to make it 50 by 50, and there we go. Looks pretty good. And I didn't really add any color or anything, but you guys could totally do that. I think it always looks a lot better when it's unique and has maybe like different color paddles, different color ball. I'm going to add in the lines that actually make the ball move. So I'll say ball X equals ball X plus X speed, ball Y equals ball Y plus Y speed. One common problem that happens when people are making this game is that they accidentally just add a number instead of adding X speed and Y speed. to their ball X or their ball Y. And so later on, when we try to make a condition that's related to it, it doesn't work because they didn't attach those to X speed and Y speed. So really make sure you do that. Now we're going to make it so that if the ball goes past the paddle, it restarts. So I'm going to start with the right side. So if the ball goes out of the canvas on the right side, so if ball X is greater than 600, then I want ball X to equal 300. I want ball Y to equal 250. And I'm going to make X speed equal negative X speed. This makes it so that every time someone wins a point, basically, so you win a point by the ball going past your opponent. So if you win a point, the ball gets served to you. So I'm going to do X speed equals negative X speed, and then the ball X and ball Y are just starting over where they were at the very beginning. And I'm just going to copy this and use it again because I need to do the same thing for if it goes out on the left side. So I'm going to do if ball X is less than 0. All right, there we go. We want the exact same thing to happen. Now we need to make it so that if the ball touches the top or the bottom of the canvas, it bounces off. In order to do this, we'll do another conditional statement that says if ball Y is less than 0, then what we want to happen is we want Y speed to equal negative Y speed. So we basically want it to take that positive momentum, turn it into negative momentum. Think about when you're taking a positive step forward or a negative step. So think about the difference between those two. So we'll do the exact same thing for if it's greater than 450 and making sure that we put no space in between our Y and our speed. All right, so now if it was touching the top and the bottom of the canvas, it would bounce. One thing that it's not bouncing off of yet are the paddles. So that's going to be the next thing that we will fix. So for this one, we are going to use distance. And we are going to say if, and then in a set of parentheses, dist, D-I-S-T, and then another set of parentheses, ball X, comma, ball Y, comma, LX, comma, LY is less than 50. Then what we want to happen is we basically want the ball to bounce off of it. So we want it to take that positive speed and go the other way. So we're going to use negative speed. So we're going to do the exact same thing for Rx and Ry. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Copy and pasting and coding will be your best friend. Try to use it as much as you can. It's really helpful. So now we have a game where the balls bounce off of the paddles. A cool way to modify this game is to add a score onto it. You can make it so that you win if you get to a certain number of points, or you can make maybe the ball gets faster if you get to a certain number of points. You can also automate one of the paddles so that you can play it by yourself. There's a lot of different ways to make this game playable and fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our newest videos.